presentation of Andrzej Dubiecki. So let's get it started.
Hi, it should be Dmytro Gadomski, but he's actually my lawyer, so it's okay if I'll speak instead of him.
He'll come.
So, say again?
He'll come.
He'll come later, okay. What I want to talk about is, you probably heard about the Ukrainian bit license. A lot of people ask questions, what the hell is that, why do we need one? I'll say it's an evolutionary thing. There is a certain pattern in the world which is happening with the Bitcoin, and Ukraine is definitely part of that pattern. You know that, let's start from the beginning. I mean, when I said it's evolutionary, things are developing really fast in Ukraine. A year ago we said that Kiev could be, and Ukraine could be the capital of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies of the world. We're halfway there. We're definitely a regional leader right now. We're talking about ex-USSR countries. We're talking about neighboring countries from Europe as well. We have the largest community. We have the best developers. You know that the ASIC chip was developed in Ukraine. The first ASIC chip, the largest mining farm was in Ukraine. The largest amount of terminals where you can buy Bitcoin per capita is in Ukraine, more than 10,000 terminals around Ukraine. The founder of that company is actually here, but you can ask him. We have the largest community, we have a Bitcoin embassy, we have what? We have a lot of development. What is not happening? We still don't have the rules of the game. By that I mean, if we go to Europe or US, you can open up an exchange and you're not going to go to jail. In Ukraine, you can't open the exchange because there is like no way to connect with the banks. Secondly, if you open up like over-the-counter sales, because there are no rules of the game agreed with the government, they're going to open up the criminal case against you. I'm the perfect example of that. The criminal case of I don't know, was it 200, Article 200 of the Criminal Book of Ukraine says that the illegal sales of bank cards, illegal money transfer, something like that. So basically what they're saying that on my website it says that Bitcoin, you can buy and sell Bitcoin. And they think, by they I mean the police, they think that the Bitcoin is the electronic money not agreed with the national bank. When you go to the national bank, and we go to national bank, they say it's not electronic money. So this is what I mean by rules of the game. There are no rules of the game. So right now it's up to everyone's decision what Bitcoin is. We want to develop rules of the game. No one wants to go to jail, that's obvious. Everyone wants to make money. To do that, we need some kind of bit license. By bit license, we mean again rules of the game. It's the way of creating the basic infrastructure. The basic infrastructure in Bitcoin, it's first of all is the exchange, where you can buy and sell Bitcoin by connecting your bank account. Secondly, it's payment providers like BitPay, Coinbase. That's like the basic of the very basic infrastructure of any cryptocurrency. We need to build that. Until we have the agreed terms of work with the national bank, maybe your commission, then we have the representative of FATF in Ukraine. We have to agree with everyone. Once we do that, we're going to be able to open up an exchange. By bit license, we don't mean that there will be the actual, paper which says that you can do wherever with the Bitcoin. No, we don't want to do that. Secondly, bit license only applies to the exchanges and the payment providers. To all of us in this room, doesn't apply. So if you want to trade Bitcoin, it's your choice. You want to accept Bitcoin and sell groceries, your choice. You're a developer, wherever. We don't care. It's a Bitcoin, it's a free. So do it. What else? In terms of what is happening right now with this bit license, we're working closely with the National Bank. National Bank switched his opinion from negative in the end of last year to neutral in the beginning of the year, and now we can say that it's actually positive. That's a big step forward. Why we did that? You know, like what's happening in US and happened in US with the Charlie Shrimp. He went to jail. Bit instant, you know them. Yeah, you know him personally. Then you know what's happening with the actual bid license of New York. So like two cases, let's discuss them. The first guy, he went to jail because there was no rules of the game. We know that apparently he abused the law by money laundering. I don't know, I wasn't there, so I can't apply that, but that's apparently what happened. But again, that happened because there were no rules of the game. If you watch the movie, The Rise and Rise of Bitcoin, has anyone seen that movie, by the way? Anyone? No? Just one? Okay, guys, you have to watch that movie. The Rise and Rise of the Bitcoin, it's a documentary. Very good movie. It talks about how the Bitcoin was developing in New York. And he's one of the stars of that movie. And he was saying, basically, guys, I don't want to go to jail. That's why I'm paying a lot of money to the 1 minute. That's why I'm paying a lot of money to my lawyers. And this is exactly what happened. He still went to jail, so he was a bit too late. I don't want to go to jail. That's why we need the rules of the game. Second thing, bid license. In New York, what happened? Hello? Yeah. In New York, the government took the first step. So the government says how the Bitcoin should be regulated. This is what we don't want to do in Ukraine. We're saying that there is a Bitcoin community, and we're saying how it's going to be regulated. We understand that in order for Bitcoin to develop, we need some kind of regulation. And that regulation, we want to develop it. We don't want a government to develop it. We don't want to, the women with this kind of hair. And thank you. And it still doesn't work, doesn't matter. We don't want the government to develop the rules. We want the community to develop the rules of the game. So we're taking the first step, and we're saying, okay, follow us, government, follow us. And this is exactly what's happening right now. So in terms of future, the future is really bright for Bitcoin in Ukraine. We have a lot of new projects developing right now in Ukraine. And I think this conference is the one big step towards, conquering the world.
Thank you so much for putting it this way. So we still have a question, time for one question, and we are ready to take it. So is there any questions to the most remarkable person in Ukraine lobbying the regulatory environment for Bitcoin and blockchain developments? Yeah, we do. We do have.
Hi, I'm Chobanian. Can you tell me, so within 1 year the attitude of the National Bank changed basically from the negative to positive. What did you do for this? I mean, just a little bit like your last time story.
Very good question, considering that we're in Ukraine, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. We haven't spent a single dollar, Bitcoin or hryvnia. It was a hard work done by the Bitcoin Foundation of Ukraine. We spent a lot of time giving presentations on the conferences. We spent a lot of time talking to the banks, getting idea inside of the head of the bankers, and it actually succeeded. So right now, bankers are actually one of the biggest pushers of the Bitcoin in Ukraine. So in the beginning of the year, it was us pushing it. Now it's the bankers who are pushing it. We have, for example, Yevgeny here. He's the organizer of the conferences. He was pushing for Bitcoin right now, and he was pushing it to the what do you call them? Like the ex-KGB, to the police, to all of these regulators. And so the process is basically you have to start and put the idea into the head of the key people, and then you just, watch how it develops.
Okay, thank you so much. Just one remark from my side. Well, it used to be the most corrupted, probably. I don't know the statistics, but the time has changed.
It still is.
So please,